I have a perfectly good laptop, but sometimes I take the time to write a story by hand. So a story always starts with an idea, which usually does not come sitting in front of a laptop, but more often when I'm out running or hiking or walking. I think of an idea and I have to ask myself, oh, is this a good idea? Usually the answer is not yes or no, but more like, okay, this is good enough to try and see where it goes. So then I consider how I best think I can present it. Sometimes it's a single image I draw, sometimes it's an entire YouTube video, sometimes it's a written piece with some images and illustrations, and occasionally it's an entirely handwritten piece with illustrations that I draw. You might wonder, why bother to handwrite all those words when you could just type them? I don't really have a brilliant answer for that. I think it's hard to capture people's attention nowadays, and maybe handwriting stands out a little more, or maybe it feels a little more approachable, or maybe sometimes people just don't want to read a big block of typed text. I just started doing it one day and it's kind of fun. But it is a lot of work compared to typing something. I type somewhere between 60 and 75 words per minute, and when I handwrite something, it's much, much slower than that. I use an iPad app called Procreate when I write and draw, and I really only use one brush, which is a sort of modified gel pen I have saved to look exactly how I want it to look. Side note, Procreate is an amazing app, and I think real artists do some really amazing stuff with it. I guess I use maybe 1% of the capability of the app in what I do. In order for my handwriting to be readable, I have to constantly zoom in, write really big letters, zoom back out, and read it, scroll across this canvas. To break up the text in a story so it's not just one big block of handwriting, I will draw charts or illustrations, or sometimes take a photo and just draw a little frame around it. I write in all capital letters, which is something I've always done. It's just easier for me to write legibly that way. I never had any formal graphic design training outside of learning how to design print newspaper pages in the early 2000s, which kind of gave me an idea of how to manipulate words and images to make the most of the space I had. A big chunk of my following is on Instagram, so sometimes I will engineer these stories so that they fit on 10 Instagram portrait-sized slides. And you hope to grab people's attention with the first one, and hopefully they scroll through the next 9 slides and get the entire story. That can be a challenge, but I think it also helps give me a constraint on how long a story should be. And that way I can use it in my email newsletter, on my website, on my column for Outside Online, on Instagram and Threads. I actually learned to write in graduate school for newspaper journalism. So it's kind of funny how different this entire process is from all of that. But as much as I hate to admit it, that was a long time ago. I mean, I got reading glasses last year, which I basically only wear to draw and write on this iPad, which is something that didn't exist when I was in grad school. I guess if you stick around long enough, you're gonna have to learn to adapt and meet people where they are, where they wanna be, and learn some new skills in the process.